Okay, so moving right along, I have everything clean and I'm getting ready to assemble a low inverse assembly for thrust check. Here is the thrust washer that goes under the low sprag. Okay, the silver part goes up. This is a low sprag. Basically, it's a roller and a spring. And you just want to look at all these guys and make sure they're in good shape. This one is in good shape. Be careful with it. It will come apart real easily. Here's the low sprag race. You look at it, look for any gouges or anything like that. This one looks fine. It's been used, but it looks fine. And then it goes in against the springs. Nice to do with two hands. And there you go. It rotates counterclockwise and it holds clockwise. That's a sprag or one-way roll clutch. Okay, this is going to go down in here. Before I do that, I want to show you guys the difference between a BR planetary or a performance planetary and a non-performance planetary. This is definitely a BR planetary. I can tell you that because the pinions are very tight. There is a spec in the book for this, but I can just tell you by feeling it, it's very tight. You always want to check those pinions for freeness. If they're not free, the planetary is trash. I'm not capable of building them yet, rebuilding them yet. I think Lonnie does some and Dave does some, but I do not at this point in time. Here's a non-BR planetary. If you just tell by looking at it, look down there on the inside of my thumb. See that? That might be acceptable for Grandma's Oldsmobile. But that is not acceptable for our... No. See, I wrote no. It is not acceptable for our high-performance turbocharged V6 with 600, 700, 800 foot-pounds of torque. So this one is basically is trash until I figure out how to rebuild them. Grind them up, put some washers in there, weld them back together. But it's good for a core. Okay, so I have the thrust washer glued on there with trans gel. I have the low sprag in there. The sprag race goes in there like so. There you go. The low reverse housing is going to spline on that like so. The upgraded roller bearing like so. The sun shell, which you can see where the thrust washer used to ride. From the factory, they come one of two styles. They come with a bronze tab washer, 4 tabs. This one has 2, but it's bigger than this if it's over there. And then there's some replacement ones in the kits that are plastic. However, this is way better than either one of those. So next, this goes on. Everything tangs in. Next, we have a sun gear. If you look at the sun gear, there is a wear pattern. That tells me for sure, and that's where this goes. So it rides on there like that. And then the low planet. Low planet, the same thing as with the upper planet. This one is nice and tight. I know it is a BR planet. It's going to go on there, if it'll let me, like so. Okay. Now, there is an oil hole right there. And another trick, credit to Bison, is to line it up with the oil hole in the output shaft. But the output shaft does have it has a groove in it, and of course it doesn't want to come apart now. It's got a groove in it. Right here's the groove, and there's the hole. So you can line that hole up with this hole and slide it back together. There's the factory style thrust washers I was telling you about. I don't use either one of those. Having access to a lathe is very crucial when you're building a performance transmission. Here's a selective thrust washer. It's going to go down there like so. I'm going to put the snap ring on and we're going to measure our clearance. Okay, so snap ring is on. Thrust is set. This one comes in hard to read it, right at 8 thousandths. Tell you what, I'm happy with that. Evidently, I got lucky when I was on the lathe the other day, and I machined this one really good. I don't have to mess off with it. So I hit it on the first try, but for the low section or bottom, I keep my scribble scrabble up there. 4 to 10 is what the ATSG calls for, and 4 to 25 is what the factory manual calls for. So we're looking at a performance build here. So 4 to 10, We're in there, we're at 8, life is good. The low section is built, and now I am ready to stuff the case.